Alright guys, welcome to another episode of Schmattz Outdoors. I am out here today. I'm gonna try trapping muskrat huts again. I'm pulled up next to the slough here. I have permission to be on here. I did not trap any of these muskrats during open water season or anything like that. So these are brand new muskrats, haven't been touched. I kind of doubt anybody else has messed with them. So we should have a good population in here. I don't know how many huts I'm going to get set today. I'm not going to video them all. I'll maybe video a few of them for you. It is the morning right now. I'm going to do 4 checks on these. I'm going to check tonight, 2 times tomorrow, and then 1 time the following day, and then I'll be pulling everything out. So I'm hoping to do a little better. I did some research, got some opinions from some fellow trappers on what I was doing wrong or what I could do better to maybe up my catch rate and not have so many plugged up traps and that type of stuff. So yeah, I'm just pulled up next to, there's a few little huts here. I'll video a little in here. It's somewhat windy outside, so I'm not sure how good the audio is going to be out there, but we'll kind of show you what I got. Is the slough just kind of runs along the road right out here. There's a couple muskrat huts kind of right over that way. You probably ain't gonna be able to see them, but then up here there's actually a big slough that's open water, isn't filled in with cattails, but most of the huts are in these cattails. So I'm gonna put, I think there's 3 or 4 huts right here close, and then I'm gonna drive up there, probably park next to the big slough, and then I'll walk around in these cattails a little bit and find some of the huts, and we'll be setting them. I'd like to get, say, 15 sets out. If I can get closer to 25, I'd be happy with that, but we'll try and get maybe like 15 set, hoping to maybe get 5 catches at each check out of 15 sets. So if I can do better than that, that'd be awesome, but again, I don't know what I'm doing here, so this is just kind of for the learning experience again. I'm not good at it. I tried the 1 time that you guys had seen, and didn't do very well, didn't have very good catch rates, so we're gonna give this a shot and see how it goes. All right, we'll turn you guys back on when I get to a hut here, and I'll show you how I'm gonna try and do this time and see how this goes. All right guys, so I got this little feeder hut right here. There's a big hut right there. I just tried to chop in. It felt like there should have been a hole right here in the side of this thing, real close to the edge. I know guys say don't mess with the big ones, but thought since I was right here I'd try it. But I dug in like 10 inches and there's nothing there. So what I have is just my stake driver, and I just went around and I'm just poking it in, and it goes in fairly hard the entire way. That tells me there's no cavity right there. I don't know, I may try right on this side here too, but this little feeder hut should be fairly easy. If I can find the cavity, which is right in the middle of it. Then what I got is just a tiling spade. I'm gonna kind of go in at an angle here. Should have been right here, but I think it's just So it felt like the whole cavity was over on this side of the house a little more. So I think it should be right here. So what I'm doing is I'm just making sure I got a big enough hole to get my arm in there. Definitely the cavity's right here. So the cavity's kind of on this side of the hut actually. And the run comes out this direction, so we're gonna take out. So I'm doing, that's all feeder hut stuff. So I'm gonna use that to plug up my, but I'm also using that at digging out a bed for my trap. Okay. All right, I got just a number 1 stop loss here, a Victor stop loss. Wired off to a stake. This basically gets me into the hut and it gives me that much chain to drown them. And then I got my trap tag. Just getting it set here. The thing I don't like about these is you can't get your finger out of there. Pretty good here. Okay. Now I'm just going to get this in there and set it probably just like that because it runs this way. Right on that bed that I just dug all this stuff out of. Okay. And then I want all my chain going down the run. And now we're going to take this and kind of plug, use that wet stuff first, and then since I got all kinds of snow, we're going to cover the hole up with snow, and that should help seal that up, make it somewhat kind of airtight, because I don't want them knowing that I was in there. Alright guys, right over here there's just a huge hut. It's like 8 foot around at the base and like 4 foot high, but there's no little feeder huts. You can see they got big patches of the cattails all trimmed off, but I did find one little feeder hut here, and I just poked in right here, and it sure looks like there's going to be a run right there. So I'm gonna get my, I feel like I'm gonna have to be pretty careful because this is a small, it's only maybe a foot out of the water, so right there I just knocked you can see I knocked a hole. The wall is only a couple inches thick. So yeah, definitely a feeder hut. What I'm doing is I'm making sure I'm getting, like, that's a frozen chunk that was part of the wall. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to make me a little bed for my trap, and I'm getting this so I can plug that back up, because there's actually 2 runs. One's running this way, one's running this way. So I'm using, this time I had those 2 stop losses, but I also have I think like 21.5s, you know, and I got the normal swivel chain. It's a Hague's bracket that I was using for open water trapping, and then like 10 inches of cable wrapped to my board. So they should have plenty of chain to drown, and this should be a plenty big enough and heavy enough trap to actually drown them. And hopefully this will eliminate some of the alive muskrats we had the last time. You know, and in a little feeder hut like this, if they're still alive, they're gonna just absolutely destroy this feeder hut. So what I did is I just kind of wiggled my trap kind of down into the feeding here. There we go, that's a perfect plug. And then I got lots of snow here. Well, I won't waste your time. I'm going to just pack some snow over the top of this. We'll put a flag on the cattails right here because I didn't set that big one here. I did set another big one over there farther. I just poked around it a little, and like 3 pokes I found where there was a cavity. So I did get, this is the 5th trap I have set now. So I'd like to get at least 10 more out if I can't get a few more than that. But we'll get a little more snow packed on this just so it don't freeze up, and we'll be on our way. Alright guys, so I just set that other little feeder hut over this way. Look at the size of this muskrat house. So it's got to be close to 5 foot out of the water here, and I would estimate, I don't know, a good 6 foot in diameter, if not a little bigger than that. I didn't even poke in that thing. You can see how like the cattails are all like real loose on the edge. I feel like you're gonna dig through a foot of that stuff before you ever get to like the solid mud house. But I'm right next to the open water here. There actually is open water right over here. I don't know if you guys can see it. It is right here is open water right there. There isn't a hut over that way. I might go check. And then there are some more back over this way too, so we'll be going that way. But I could see this little like hump in the snow right here, and I just brushed it off. I believe it is an actual feeder hut. I did not, I just brushed the snow off. What I'm looking for is just to find that. The cavity is going to be like right down in here, right down in there. There are some mink tracks in here too. I seen mink tracks are on the other side of this big hut, and they actually go towards that open water out there, but I don't have no bait or nothing for a mink set right now. So if I get lucky to catch him in a muskrat set, I don't plan on putting out any mink boxes this time. Okay. So the cavity was actually over this way just a little bit from where I thought it was, but again, the first thing I do, I want to make sure that's the frozen chunk that was part of the. Looks like a real nice feeder hut here. The run actually comes out towards me. The run comes out kind of this way. I wish I had something to poke in there. Oh, I do. I got this. It's actually a little frozen in there, and I couldn't grip any of the debris here. It's like all slicked up with ice in there. Well, I'll have to do the best I can to get my trap set so it don't rock in there. All right, I think I got a nice little bed in there. Again, a 1.5 Duke. I have all kinds of 1.5s. I got some Herders, Victors, these Dukes. I'm not real particular about any particular one. I spent quite a bit of time. I made sure like they're all tuned. I mean, that one, that pan's up, you know, so the pan sets pretty level on there. They did really well for me open water trapping, so we'll see here. Get my chain in here a little differently here. There we go. Ow. I just bumped it. Try this again here. I'm just trying to do, I'm grabbing the outside of the jaws. You know, that way I know where the pan is. I'm just trying to get it set the best I can in here, but there ain't a lot to set it on. There's the it's just, like I said, it's kind of like slicked up ice in there. I can't. Just can't get a good spot. Kind of chopped out. There we go. Look, that's not bad. And by grabbing the jaws when they go off, it basically pushes my hand away from the trap. I mean, it might catch your glove or something, but it's not. It shouldn't catch your hand as easily that way. Alright, we're going to call that good here. I want to get my chain so it's somewhat out of the way here. Okay. Trying to kind of pack that up as good as I can, and there we go. That's a 6 I got out now. All right, we'll shut you guys off. Like I said, there is a hut out over this way I'm gonna go look at, and then there's a few more back in here. We're gonna set probably back to shore, and then I got to get I only grabbed just a handful of traps, so I only got 2 left here. So we're gonna walk out. I may walk out along the edge a ways and just see out this way and just see if there is some more huts along the edge where I can trap. Like I said, that open water kind of scares me a little bit right over here, but I'm here. I'll come back and tie my little flag onto that one. So the snow has got some of the edge here kind of knocked down. So there's a hut right here I might poke into. But, oh, right here, the mink tracks, here, they go right past this house. I imagine it goes out into this water. But I sure hope you guys could see that open water right here in front of me. There's actually a couple little spots. Almost looks like right over here it might have been open at some point. There's actually some more down that way that's open. So I don't think I'm actually gonna go walk out any farther. This may be my farthest out I'll go on this side. And like I said, there is one big hut over here on the other side. I might walk around a little over there just to see if I can find more huts, but well, as long as you're still videoing here. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but there is actually an open hole right here in the snow. Where something's been going in and out. Interesting. I'm actually gonna set a trap in there. I might catch that mink right here. Well, maybe not. It's like a bottomless hole there. I'm gonna investigate this hole a little bit more and see if I can set that. Otherwise, we'll poke some into this house here and see what I can come up with. Alright guys, so right over here is that giant hut. I got that little feeder hut right over here. There's a hut right here. The nice slope side is actually on the west side. I did poke on the southeast side. I couldn't find a cavity. There is another hut right over here that I might poke around in, but I don't have a trap, so I didn't realize I didn't have you turned on, so I just chopped. I'm just getting, so I'm down to the cavity here. I'm getting some wet stuff here. What I'm trying to do is just get the hole opened up enough so I can get my arm in there easily. Trying to just get so there's a real nice hole going out this direction, and it's about that far over from my hole, so it's gonna be perfect. My trap will be straight in, and hopefully they'll dive down that hole, and that'll be the end. Alright, by taking this big glob of wet stuff out, I got a real nice bed right there now. So I'm not hair triggering my trap, but I'm also not leaving it all the way up. I kind of, it's about halfway down on the notch, so I maybe got like a 1/16 of an inch of the pan catching this. So if they just push some debris on it, it shouldn't go off, but it takes a little pressure to move it. I think that was part of my issue the first time I tried this, is I think my traps, some of them were just way too hair trigger. Alright, that one bedded real nice, so I just kind of wiggled it around. And then what I just did there, I'm just pushing my chain, as much chain as I can get back in there. I'm trying to take some of this wet stuff, kind of pack that in first here. So this is one of the biggest things that the guys told me when I was doing my research, is that I wasn't getting the holes plugged up good enough. I'm just exposing my stake. Alright, I'm out of traps, so I got 8 set now. I am going to go check this hut right over here. And then I'm going to kind of check around on my way back. I think there is another hut over this way too. If I have to, I'll grab a couple more traps and bring them out here. The more I could get set in this little area, the better, happier I'm going to be. So, the far less I have to walk. The mink was here. So the here, that's mink tracks. He was up on top of this hut. He was all around over on that side. I'd love to catch him. just because I haven't got one all year. But alright, we'll shut you guys off. I'm going to probe around a little on this hut, see if I can find where I think there's a cavity, and if I do find one, I'll go grab some traps. So alright guys, so I just set that hut over there. I come over and I probed. I feel like there's actually might be a cavity here, and there might be a cavity like right here too. So I'm going to dig in. This one feels like the best spot, but I might actually put two in this house. And then there's a few kind of scattered out. I found one little feeder hut over here, over this way, and there are a couple more bigger huts. So I know guys say don't set these bigger huts like this, but I thought I'd find more feeder huts out here, and this is the slough that I decided I'm going to do this on. I don't have a lot of other spots, so it's kind of whatever I can get set on this slough is what I'm going to be checking. So yeah, I might have been wrong here. Nope, I wasn't. So there is a cavity right here. The run is coming straight at me. Let's see here. Gotta kind of figure out how I'm gonna get my chain away so it ain't right over the run. So all this debris that I'm pulling out, like this stuff, was just floating in this hole. Now I'm making a little bed for my trap. It kind of feels like there might be a run going this way, and then there's one going straight underneath where I'm setting. So I'm actually going to try and use my wire here to kind of move my chain off to the side, if I can make that happen. That'd work good if the chain didn't catch on my jacket when I was pulling my arm out. Okay. Alright, I don't feel like that's too bad. Now I'll just kind of take all this wet stuff here. Oh, that made an awesome plug. I'm going to take some of the snow. I'm going to kind of pack that around that. Seal it up. So that's number 9. Like I said, I almost think I almost felt like right here. Yep. You know, and just that little trick of having a probe has saved me so much time and struggle on these houses this time. You know, as otherwise, like a house like this, I probably wouldn't even try to mess with, because there's no way to have a clue as to where the runs might be in here, you know, or the cavity. So that's it, I'm in there already. I'm just cleaning out a little of this debris, because I gotta get my arm in there and get a trap down in here. So let's see. There's a run again coming out this way underneath me, and then there's one running this way. So this is kind of the little landing pad. I just grabbed a whole handful of that. Try not to clog up the run here. trying to get me a nice solid. I had. Just dipped my arm in the water there. That was awesome. Run over my glove. Like I said, I normally wouldn't do this, but I don't know that it's gonna hurt nothing to have 2 traps in this house. Like I said, I'm not running them for a week here. I'm gonna be running them today. It's in the morning right now. It's like 10 o'clock probably, and I'm gonna be back here at 3:30, 4 o'clock to check all these. Again, I'm kind of making sure that my chain ain't on my trap and it's not plugging up a run. That's all that wet stuff that I just pulled out of there. Alright, that's 10 set now. Alright, we're on the move. We're gonna kind of meander through here. If I find any other good huts, we'll turn you guys back on. Alright guys, so I'm right by the road here. My truck's over this way, right over here. I got one more little feeder hut to set down there that I found. But I found there's this big house here, and you can see mink tracks coming over the top, and they go right over here, and they go right in this hole. I haven't dug my hand in there or nothing, but I'm assuming it goes all the way in. I actually think I'm going to put my trap right here. I'm not going to chop a hole in this hut. I'm literally going to just put it right there, and hopefully maybe this mink will come back in the next couple days here, because he was here last night. The snow is fresh from last night, so I'm literally going to put my trap, kind of dig out a little bit of debris right here.